Hey, it's Mark,
And it's Craig.
and it's Songwriters Tales. And today we are doing part two of our interview with Kelly McCoy. And for you, Atlantans, that's all you needed to hear. But for all the other ones, Craig, kind of tell us who Kelly is.
Kelly is an iconic radio personality, DJ, and he has stories that are going to amaze you. We're talking about backstage stories of entertainers and people in the business that only you will hear here. Here? Tell him, Mark.
Let's do it.
I want to ask you a question. I know Mark's got a few questions lined up, and you and I have been doing all the. Sorry, Mark.
No, it's fine.
I mean,
fine.
So Kelly, all right. So if without the payola and with these people visiting you, what was the catalyst for you to say, yeah, we'll put? Did you have to listen to a song? And go, yeah, I think it's got potential.
A lot of times, it was usually you and someone else. That way, if the record was a stiff, or the radio, you could be blamed totally for it. But man, we're all musicians and players here. There's something about that one song you go, ooh, whether it's a lyric or a riff from a guitar or a chord. Me, I'm more of a musician. I'm more of an instrument guy. I always listen to the instrument first, then I would go back and listen to the lyrics because that should work for me. But you have some people, obviously the song carries the song. But yeah, we'd have that. That was a lot of it. And of course, the record company would advise you, for lack of a better word, they would give you their product that they were pushing. You wouldn't go grab something, let's say on Columbia Records from some guy you never heard of, when they had a new Billy Joel they're trying to get you to play or something like that, But
well, the program directors, I remember there's the program directors in the radio station. In fact, Mark and I have we've got a publisher. I think I've mentioned him to you, Rex Benson out in Los Angeles, who was big in getting Kenny Rogers' career back when he did Buy Me a Rose and all that. And Rex is good friends with, I'm going to say this, and if I say it wrong, Rex will be on the phone in about 5 minutes correcting me. I guarantee it. But the head program director for Sirius Radio they're good friends. They're good buddies. And,
Sirius XM?
Yeah, Sirius, yeah.
All the channels?
Yeah, I believe so. And I'm saying that I know for sure, that he's like the guy. And he's got ears, according to Rex, that Rex will go, tell me what you think about this tune. I mean, this guy's just got that radar, and clearly there's some success there.
Oh, they're those guys. This guy's, I think he's in his 90s now. A guy named Clive Davis. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. Rex and him are good friends, actually.
This man to have the most incredible ears on
That's
the planet.
right.
I mean, he heard everything. I don't care if it was hard metal rock and roll to the softest ballad you ever heard in your life. He just had that touch and never forgot a name or a face. He's one of those. And he is a, true treasure in the industry. And, he's, don't be surprised if one day you hear the news, but gosh, what a career and what a respected man and stuff like that, but
that's cool. Mark?
Well,
you're
Kelly,
there, buddy.
I was going to say, I told you when we were in the pre-show, I'd listened to you for years, so it's really cool to actually talk to you.
Means I'm old.
Well, me too. Means we both are.
Yeah, right.
Because but so you also said that you're a musician. So talk a little bit about what got you into DJing. I mean, was it the love of music?
Let's say, love of music. That's it. First and foremost, still love music. It's I'm an addict. It's my number one drug. I don't do any more drugs. The worst thing I ever did was smoke a little weed. Okay. I think everybody did that, but I don't smoke weed. I don't, I'll have an occasional beer, maybe a glass of wine, but music, can't get enough. I'm hooked. And my mother was very musical. She played guitar and keyboards. I picked up that from her. I started playing keyboards when I was 4 and played a little talent show and then that kind of stuff. And I was singing. And then when I was in elementary school, tried to play trombone for a while. Too much spit. I mean, and plus to all the spit plus the slide, you could play the same note in 2 different positions. Too much to remember. Then I picked up. I was a percussionist, and they had a shortage of drummers. I played anything percussive for many, many years through high school. Played guitar in a couple of 3 bands. My fingers were too slow. Bass was the only thing I could do because I couldn't do the chords. That's why I'm envious of Craig. You may be a great guitarist too, Mark. I don't know, but I
He
just,
is.
I'm envious. And but so I played bass, and then finally I played, some keyboards and stuff. Then I finally realized, I'm better at playing other people's music. That's the real deal than playing, doing copy. I can't see myself doing this, for the rest of my life. And I had a friend that started a little radio station. I went to visit him, and that's when I got kind of into it.
Okay.
Truth be told, I was going to be a funeral director.
Ooh.
Well, that makes perfect sense, Kelly.
Yeah. Well, my father was a minister. My best friend's dad was the local funeral director.
Okay.
I mean, so one day it hit me. I went, wait a minute. They live in a great house. They drive great cars.
Yeah.
They wear nice clothes. There's always going to be a demand.
It's a good living. Yeah.
Yes. So I had an application. We probably lost a lot of viewers when I said that. I had an application to Gupton Jones School of Mortuary Science.
Yeah.
It was on. It
Sounds
was
like a
on
Dr. Seuss title.
It was on West Peachtree Street,
Yeah, it
right
was.
next to where the old TBS Superstation studios were. But then I got into radio and I went, man, this is kind of cool. Did that. And, I started that when I was 17. And the good Lord blessed me with a great long career of that. I don't know if I might not have made as much money, but I had a whole lot more fun, doing this because you just never knew what you're going to get to do with that. But anyway, so
Well, did
I could
you?
look, I could look solemn, but anyway, I look good in a black suit.
For about 2 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did you DJ in Athens when you went to school there? Obviously, did you?
Yes,
DJ
but
there?
I was on the radio. I wasn't a DJ. But see, now I just fell for it. I'm a disc jockey.
Sorry.
Not
sorry.
An on-air talent.
Were you an on-air personality?
Yes,
Okay.
I did afternoon drive. That's what it was called, 2 to 6. That's when people are driving home from work. Morning drive and afternoon drive are your 2 most important day parts. That used to be back then. Then when at work listening was big. But yeah, I was over there and I got a call from the Gary Corey, the program director at WQXI, said, "Hey, I've been hearing good things about you. Let's talk about you coming over here." And I'm not kidding you, man. It was like dying and going to heaven because I'm nobody special. I'm very blessed and I'm pretty decent at what I do. But I still know men now in their 70s, and they said, I would give anything just to be able to crack the mic and say those call letters. I said, it was pretty cool, But I had a lot of fun, but I made my real money when I went at WSB FM, which is 98.5.
What year was the switch over?
I went there in 1985. And we had a really good guy come in and took over the radio division. It was Cox Radio back then. And this guy was great, a genius, and we just owned the market. We blew everybody in the world out of the water. We did that nationally too. He took basically the whole company from worst to first. And I was there 27 years.
Wow.
Believe it or not, I have some friends that just left there that were longer than I was there. So it was back then, obviously radio's changed, the industry's changed. It still has a place, but the competition, is certainly a whole lot more different because now you can pick up your phone, you got an app, you can listen to any radio station in the world. And so you got to adjust to the times and whatnot. But there's always going to be a place. Yes, the industry has suffered a bit, but that's changed, But I was very blessed to have done it at a really, really good time, and they took really good care of me, and I took care of them too. But it was
Yeah,
It
you
was a great
did.
thing.
You did. You took us
But
all around Atlanta
yeah.
in the
Now
afternoon.
my daughter hates Christmas music because of us, though. She she goes, you know, Dad, I hate Christmas music because Mom used to ride around with me in the back seat when I was little, and I had to hear all those songs. I said, Courtney, I'm not too thrilled about Christmas music either because I played it. But anyway, you did that. Yeah, thanks for listening, Mark.
Oh,
No,
no, you know what? It was, like I said, I told you, I had a job at the time where I was just basically in and out of my car in my truck all day, and I was driving, and I listened to Bortz in the morning, and I listened to you in the afternoon.
well, our target demo was, of course, anybody breathing would take, but we programmed to 25 to 54,
Mhm.
primarily females. No offense. Why do you program to females? They control all the money. You know, they do
Mhm.
the shopping. That's who you want to be talking to. So that was the audience. Guys, I don't want this to come out the wrong way. Most guys are not loyal when it comes to radio. They're gonna
Mhm.
listen to a rock station or a sports station. One song they don't like, they're out of there. Back then, I can't speak for now, but
Well,
they stuck around a little.
now it seems like now everybody creates their own playlists.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
See, you guys know more about this than I do. Now you can do your own song in your own studio, go to YouTube, have more hits than you could get airplay on a radio station. You control your publishing, which
yeah.
is big money because
Mhm.
I really hate it. I still listen to a lot of podcasts from some of these musicians and stuff from back in the
Mhm.
day,
Mhm.
and they just got raped by the record
Yeah,
companies.
they
Yeah,
did.
they
I
did.
remember I talked to Tommy James one time,
Oh, yeah.
and this is I was at Quicks. He said, "Man," he said, "I'm still working because I got to, because
Mhm.
the publishing."
Yeah.
And I did I had a real good friend. His family did very well in the publishing industry. They didn't rip people off. It was Lowry Music, Butch Lowry.
We know all those
And
guys. My
yeah, I
dad
mean,
worked with Bill. Yeah,
is
my
that
dad
right?
worked with Bill,
I
yeah.
still talk to Butch on a regular basis, and
Yeah, Butch
They were
Butch and I have
good
been trying
guys,
to
man.
connect
I
for
hope you do get him on one. I'll tell him to get with you guys. He's got some stories, man. But a
Good
lot of
family,
those guys,
good
like I said,
people.
were lifetime, friends, and he's one
Mhm.
of them.
yeah. They were a great publishing company, very well respected. Hey, Mark, was it did Steve Dorff say that he worked at
That's where he started.
I
That
know
was
that
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
I know
Steve
that name
Dorff
too.
is a Hall of Fame songwriter, and he was also a composer. See, at the time Murder, She Wrote was on, he was composing 6 shows at the same time.
Man,
Yeah.
Hey,
man.
yeah, Kelly, I'll tell you how you know Steve's. When we were talking about Ed C coming on our show, I said, "Yeah, I'm reaching out to Ed." You said, "Well, I'll tell you what, he's real busy right now because I believe you told me he was working with Steve Dorff."
He's worked in 2 albums as somebody's wanting me to do something else.
Yeah, he's just like
Mhm.
back to back right now. Steve's doing a lot of sync, like movie sync right now. That's what he's.
Speaking of the Lowry people, of course, one of their big major acts and was Atlanta Rhythm Section. But before that, they had Classics 4. They had Ray Stevens.
Tommy
They
Rowe.
had Len Anderson. Yeah. And I remember Buddy Bowie.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Buddy Bowie wrote Spooky. Well, he co-wrote Spooky, right?
Yeah, he did. He wrote it with, oh gosh, I know the guy who wrote it with him. I can't remember his
It
name
wasn't
now.
Arnie, but it was
There was a guy who, played keyboard, who I'll think of his name in a second, but he wrote Spooky with Buddy.
You think about that. You write a hit song. Dennis Yost and the Classics 4 had a hit with that. Okay. Then the Atlanta Rhythm Section had a #1 song with that. Then David Sanborn,
Mhm.
smooth jazz saxophone player, had a #1 hit with that. All he had to do was go to the mailbox and get the check back then,
For
man.
years.
Yeah, I
Harry
mean,
Middlebrooks. Harry
yeah, there you go.
Middlebrooks.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
But that's just one of the Lowry acts and stuff. And
yeah.
there's another guy, Rodney
Joe
Mills.
South. They had Joe South. They
Yes,
had
yes. Another great songwriter. I went to his
Mhm.
funeral, actually.
Oh, wow.
There's another guy. You ever heard of Rodney Mills?
Yeah.
There's another guy. He'd be a good person to get on this
Man,
podcast.
that would be
He's got
great.
some stories about, he did all the Leonard Skinner stuff.
And
And
he also produced 38 Special. Did all
right,
their
right.
stuff
Oh, yeah.
too.
Did some
Mhm.
Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah.
Master Sound was the I think that one at the studio that Rodney
Mhm.
was. I think I got Rodney's number if you need me to get that to you, Craig. But
Let's do it.
he'd be a great one, to do
Man,
this with.
you
He was
talk about
also Ed. We talk about this Ed C guy. He was that was Ed C's mentor. Okay. Our buddy Ed C, I give you a little tease. I knew him in Atlanta. He was in my wedding, as a matter of fact. And I used to hang out with him when he was working in Atlanta. And so when I guess the top 40 music scene kind of dried up, Ed moved to Nashville. And he hadn't been up there long at all. We were on the phone one night. He said, "Hey, man," he said, "loving it up here, staying really busy." He said, "I got this young lady in the studio, says she's cute, she's sweet, says she can sing, said, I think she's going to make it. Listen for the name Martina McBride." Hello.
Yeah.
But not too long after that, I think she went on the Garth Brooks tour. That did hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Ed, you talk to him, he can tell stories for hours about, oh, yeah, I did a thing with him, whatever. But,
Hey, this is Craig with Songwriters Tales with Mark and Craig. Want to remind you, episodes 20 through 21, none other than Jake Needham out of Nashville. He's on our artist spotlight. You're going to love this guy, man. He's the real deal.